Hey guys, and welcome back to another Betwixt the Real episode. Tonight we went and saw Sonic the Hedgehog with people's names I can't remember. Cyclops from X-Men when he first died. If you don't know what Sonic is a game by Sega. It's got many different versions of it, but essentially it's about a blue hedgehog that runs really fast. What do you think of it?
Yeah, I thought it was fine.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. I think they definitely aimed it towards children, which was a little bit disappointing, but then they had enough of like the fan stuff in it that made it sort of like, you know, acceptable.
Like a lot of Sonic's humour was more kid friendly.
Yeah,
But then I think Jim Carrey was added to
for the older sort of,
yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think it had a good balance. Like obviously it felt like you're watching a kids film, but you know, it was entertaining. It's one of the, I'd stick it in that sort of category of, and like an easy sort of watch. Like I'd put it in the background and something like I'm happy to watch. You know what I mean? But like, it definitely had everything in it. It had like the poses. It even had some of the sayings, and even like some of the moves and like some of the in the like later games where you could do the grinding. Do you remember the grinding? And like the flips and things. I even had sort of that in there as well. I thought that was quite good.
Yeah, they definitely like they knew what they were working with. Like they it's clear that they they definitely tried to like what is it?
I don't know, what is it?
Dang it. I can't think of the word. Like they definitely had enough love for the Sonic sort of franchise. It makes me wonder why it had such a rocky start with like that weird bloody fucking freak of a bloody design and all that bollocks.
Well, the first trailer, I don't know, it felt like they were going with a different direction. It felt like they were making it so Sonic was from Earth, which is why they probably gave him more of like a human. Like, well, he had like teeth, didn't he? And stuff like that.
He like had a proper real hedgehog look, and it was nasty.
Yeah, but in this one they went with the rings. Yeah. So like in the trailer you saw he was on, what's the world called again?
I mean in the show it was called Mobius, but
yeah, like the first area.
Green Hill Zone.
So they could make him look a bit more like the original cartoony sort of animated look. They had that. He's an alien, so he doesn't have to have like human teeth and things like that. So I think that was definitely a better way of doing it.
I do wonder how, like how much they did change if it wasn't just the animation, like if they did completely redo his story and all that. Because the original trailer had nothing.
Yeah, nothing like the new stuff in it. But it was a good idea. I think if he had come from Earth, there was too many questions.
They put way more focus on making him like the games.
Yeah.
Which definitely helps.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, it definitely felt like Sonic, like, the whole way through it. Even though if he was a bit mad, but then it makes sense, because obviously he's so quick. Like, he would be all over the bouncing off the walls, wouldn't he? So it'll make sense.
He seems a lot younger than he does in any of the games.
Well, I think he is supposed to be a kid, but then in the games, because he had tails and things like that, and I think they made him a little bit more grown up in the thing, because he's been through a lot, and he's always been attacked and everything, and he looks after Tails, so he's got a bit more of a mentality of a protector, where in this he's just a kid, isn't he? He's just a kid that doesn't really know what he's supposed to do, so he's a bit out of control. I think if they do another one, which they're hinting at, it would be different. I don't think he'll be so out of control.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll have to see. But like I said to you, like Jim Carrey was very much Jim Carrey. There was hints of him being Robotnik. Like there was scenes where the way he spoke and the stuff like that. But it was Jim Carrey.
Yeah, they let him they let him be him. They didn't bloody try and give him anything else.
No, they probably gave him a very loose script as well and just like go ahead. I thought some of it was a bit unnecessary. like when he like spoke to people and stuff, like when he's speaking to the army guy, and he just kept going about how like useless he was and stuff, and you're not important. I thought that was a bit over the top. It was funny at first, then it was a bit sort of like, all right, yeah, that joke's dead. But he was definitely a wicked character, and so was Cyclops as well. I don't know his name. Who gives a fuck what his name is? But I thought he was a really good character as well, because he's been a bit of a rocky since Cyclops. He's sort of like been here and there.
I've only ever seen him in X-Men, so I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like he was in Death at a Funeral. That was pretty funny. And then he was in Two Guns. Where they all sort of like continuing, we went from Cyclops, which was like a main character. He'd done a lot of like side characters that were sort of just in it. And then he's gone back to this where he's a main character, and he did a really good job. I really enjoyed him in it.
Yeah, he was fine.
Yeah. I thought he was funny, and he was quite good at the action and stuff like that. And considering it's got to be really hard. Like I don't know how they, because obviously, when you're dealing with someone that isn't there, you got to sort of act.
Yeah, they have like
towards it.
They have like a puppet, don't they? Where it's like a little
you
green
got to act towards a puppet, but
model.
Even that, it's got to be really hard to do something like that. So he did a really good job of it. And obviously, Jim Carrey's Jim Carrey. He does whatever the fuck he wants to do. He probably did see Sonic standing there. But like I said to you, I thought they were going to go a different way with the quill, which you see him get in the trailer. Like I was really hoping for. Okay, now it's probably going to be spoilers because I just want to talk about. Yeah, I thought he was going to go for like Metal Sonic. I didn't think he was going to use the quill to power his ship and make him fast, which made sense. But I kind of wanted Metal Gear. I kind of wanted Metal Sonic, but I think that's too much for one film.
Yeah.
Especially like after seeing Tails as well at the end.
Well, I mean, the quill was in the trailer, so you can tell all that.
Yeah. I'm just saying like what he did with it. You don't know what he did with the quill, do you? But like I felt like Stone, his guy that was with him, was a bit unnecessary because he didn't like people. So I thought that was a bit. And he had the cars with him that. I don't know. I'm looking too in depth to a child's film now. It's a kid's film. Either way, I was happy with it, and I really liked the way that he. Because I don't know why. I was watching, I was thinking about other things. I was thinking to myself, how do they get Dr. Robotnik to have some sort of way of like Sonic's universe? Because he's a human that was in his planet, wasn't he? And I like the way they actually he pushed him into the mushroom world.
Yeah.
So now they've done that. Like he's now the human in Sonic's world. So it doesn't, that explains a little bit in the games that was never explained. He was just a guy there, wasn't he? So I thought that was quite a good little thing they did, just to throw it in there. Because now in the second one, if Sonic because obviously you see Tails at the end looking for Sonic, which doesn't make sense because they've never met. But like if he meets him and goes, "Oh, you've got to come back. Something's wrong," and he goes back, and Robotnik's built the egg tower, whatever it has, in that planet.
Yeah, because he's gonna have to do something to get off that mushroom place.
So that'd be really good if he brings it back, and then that ties in with the game.
I hope they do make a second one because I'd be interested to see what they do with it.
Yeah, because I think the story and everything they did was really on point. It felt just like a Sonic game, but I'm seeing. And while I was sitting there, I was thinking to myself, I wonder if they could make this into a game. It'd be quite cool to run around Earth.
Well, the game's been shit for fucking.
Oh yeah, I know. Since saying about Sonic Adventure, I think the last one with Shadowing was the last Sonic game I played. After that, it was a bit. Even like the cartoons have gotten really.
Well, the only cartoon is like Sonic Boom nowadays, and
that's the one with the Knuckles is some huge. I saw a thing for the game, and then did it even come out?
Yeah, the game did come out, but it was rushed. The
What
show's writing's pretty funny, to be honest, but just the shows of it. And
what was it on?
Wii U.
Oh really? What about the TV show?
Probably like Boomerang or something. We probably don't get it much over here.
See, I said to you, I've got the original Sonic. So I remember that were like on TV. I've got them on
The
DVD,
old cartoon.
and they were spot on. Absolutely loved them things.
I've
That's why I
just never
bought them DVD.
understood why they've never made a game based on the comics or the shows. Like, the games have always been sort of separate, but then the games have been shit for years.
Yeah.
So, because the comics were amazing, like when you had like the show where it had Sally in, and it was Robotnik had his own city and he roboticized a lot of people.
Are you talking
And
about
it
where they were a
was-
band?
Band?
Yeah, they played instruments.
No, that was Sonic Underground.
Oh,
I'm talking about. It was a different one where Sally, she was like a fox with a jacket on, and it was sort of her and Sonic sort of lived outside the city in an old village. I think they had like some sort of resistance that tried to take on Robotnik, and in like I can't remember what the city was called, but it was just like a big city that, you know, he sort of dictated it with robots and he roboticized people.
I don't know if I saw that.
Because that original show was amazing, but they never really did anything with it. And the comics followed that show as well when the show ended. But then, like, they've never done a game on it for some reason. Even though there's so much to do, like, there's so much lore from the comics and the show that they could make loads of games, but they haven't.
Sega's a really weird company. Like, they were really big with like the Dreamcast and stuff, and then they took sort of a step back.
Well, Nintendo sort of outdid them in the console war, so they sort of downplayed it a bit, got rid of their consoles and just sort of
Just
went
brought
more
out games
publishing.
over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the one thing that is nothing like to do with the film or anything like that, I was really disappointed was right at the beginning when the Sega comes up, and it's the little individual games. I was like, this is pretty cool, and then I was expecting to go Sega.
Yeah, Sega.
Yeah, nothing. And I was like, this is fucked. Like,
Oh, was it,
like, right at the beginning.
was that logo that came up that said original film? Was that for the Sega one? Because I thought that was a bit weird.
I don't know. I've never seen that company before.
It was just a red background with the blue
Yeah.
text original film. I don't know if it was supposed to go like Sega original film or if it was just something else. But it was a
don't
little
know.
weird.
But I was really hoping for just a fucking booming Sega.
I'm surprised they didn't do that, considering all the other like Sonic references.
That's how you know it's Sonic. Like the first Sonic, like you know, you close your eyes, it just goes Sega, and then it goes. I can't remember the tune. That's the one, yeah. And it got bust into that. That would have been perfect intro. But they did. Did you hear that song was in it?
Yeah, at the end,
And like it was like really
it
slow,
started
like
to
piano.
play like piano with the Green Hill Zone music.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there were so many things in that film that I really enjoyed. And I'd quite happily I probably would pick it up, I think. I'd probably buy it.
I liked it.
It's
I'm
not-
glad it didn't suck.
Yeah, that would have been really disappointing. But I wouldn't say it was a film that I'd rush to the cinema to see. Like, if you missed it, it's not like a massive deal. But, you know, I mean, there's films you know that you like, that was amazing at the cinema. That film, if I'd seen that at home or at the cinema, it would have been the same experience. But it was definitely a film worth seeing.
Yeah, it's good they actually bloody pulled it back.
Yeah, they did a good job. But that guy that did the original character design, he got fired. He's never getting hired again. Someone lost their job because of that. The teeth. That's like, imagine every interview he gets in after that. They'd be like, they'd just look at him and go, "So explain the teeth to me." And he's like, "What? The teeth? Why did you put teeth in Sonic's mouth?" Like, human teeth. Where did that idea come from? And then they'll see you later. Never call him again.
I'm still starting to think it was all a conspiracy, just to make it look shit and then redesign it to make people more happy.
I can imagine it. It wouldn't be far, you know what I mean? It wouldn't be a massively stretched thing if they did do it.
I don't know.
Well, you never
It's
know.
weird.
Things like that, yeah. Things like that, you only people that know is the people that are involved, isn't it? But, right guys, so that's... We both agree that was a really good film. Worth going to see. And, like always, like, subscribe. And then we'll just catch you next time. See you later.